Hello and welcome to Comparing and Ordering Integers. This is Chapter 3, Lesson 8 from the Nelson Math Focus textbook. I'm Mr. Burko and you're listening to my Mathcast. Let's get started. Our goal today is to use a number line to compare and order integers. Now, integers are a family of numbers and they consist of positive and negative values. In our textbook on page 94, we have a list of cities in Canada, and these cities have low temperatures, average low temperatures, and average high temperatures for the winter. And you'll see that some of these temperatures get quite low. These are in degrees Celsius, and some of the highs in winter aren't much higher. And what we're going to do is order these temperatures from coldest to warmest. The best way to do this is a number line, of course. A number line can be just a graphical representation of these integers. And we're always going to put 0 somewhere in the middle at some point. Obviously in winter we're not going to see these temperatures on average, but occasionally you will get temperatures like that. So we have a freezing point of water, and 0 is a really important temperature to remember. The Celsius or centigrade system is based on this freezing point of water. 0 is the point when water turns into ice, and so therefore will be snow or ice or whatever it is. It won't just be water on the ground. So all the negative integers will be below 0 and all the positive integers will be above 0. So what we're going to do is put our first two cities down on our number line. Iqaluit and Yellowknife both have an average winter temperature on the low side of minus 31 or negative 31. So it fits right here, and you'll see in relation to 0 where that fits. Question A says, how does an integer tell you whether a temperature is above or below the freezing point of water? Well, if you were paying attention just now, you should be able to answer that question quite easily. The freezing point of water is 0, and everything that's negative is below 0. Everything that is positive will be above 0. Question B says, mark each low temperature on a number line like Leah's. Which number temperature is colder, minus 21 or minus 22? Well, it's your turn. I'd like you to go ahead and take the temperatures and mark them on the number line. And we'll go back to the beginning slide here so that you can look at the temperatures, and then you can mark them down and pause the presentation, and then we'll check our answers. So here we go, back to the temperature list. Go ahead and mark them down on a number line, and we'll get back to it in a second. Welcome back. I hope you had a chance to mark those temperatures down on your list. Let's take a look at what that looks like. I put Whitehorse up here at minus 22 and Winnipeg at minus 21. Regina is getting kind of squishy in here, minus 21. Winnipeg was minus 23. Edmonton is minus 19. Victoria is the weird one up here. Victoria doesn't get very cold in the winter. Snow doesn't really stay on the ground in Victoria if it snows at all. And so a low temperature in the winter for Victoria is positive 1. Nice place to live, right by the ocean. So is minus 21 colder or minus 22 colder? And you can see on your list here that the farther we get away from 0, the colder it gets. So minus 22 is definitely just a little bit colder than minus 21. Question C says, how can you tell that minus 31 is the coldest temperature in the chart? Well, simply put, it is the farthest away from 0. So the farther away you go from 0, the lower the temperature. Your turn again. I'd like you to write the low temperatures in order from coldest to warmest. So pause the presentation and take these number values and put them in order from coldest to warmest. Welcome back. Let's check your answers. And if your list matches mine, then you were right. Yellowknife is the coldest, going all the way up to Victoria, which is the warmest in the winter. And question E, I would like you to answer, but I'm not going to tell you the answers because I think by now you should be fine. Write the high temperatures in order from coldest to warmest. You can do that on a list, or you can use a number line, whichever you feel comfortable with. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next lesson.